Hey, good morning, church. Welcome to Steveo's Sunrise Devos. You see a little bit of color back there in the sunrise this morning. And a quick thought from today's one-year Bible reading in 2 Corinthians chapter 5. Paul says that Christ's love compels us. The love of Christ compels us. The love of Christ fills our hearts and compels us to do what we do. Why? Because he says we know that one died for all. Jesus died for all of us, so that we might live, we might be new creatures and new creations in Christ. That God was in Christ reconciling himself to us and us to him. And therefore, we love Christ. That's where our love comes from, because he did the hard work of reconciliation on the cross, of bringing us back together with God. And now we have a message of reconciliation to share with other people, that God is reconciling himself to them through Christ. What a great message that we have. And how did God do that? How did God reconcile us in Christ? By making us righteous. Now, there's two ways to be righteous with God. Let's get theological, huh? Let's get our theology on. There's two ways to be right with God. One way is never break his law in the first place. Never break his laws, never break his commandments, always do what's right, and none of us are right in that way. We've all blown it as far as that's concerned. The other way to get right with God again is to pay the penalty for breaking his commandments. But we don't want to do that either, because the penalty is eternal separation from God and hell. We don't want to spend eternity in hell. And so that's what Christ did for us. When he died on the cross, he was experiencing hell on your behalf and on my behalf. Christ experienced the full wrath of God on your sin and my sin and everyone's sin on the cross. And he made us righteous with God in that way. That's what we call penalty paid righteousness. The righteousness that comes from God and is by faith and is imputed to you and I. That is, it's credited to our account. So now we're justified in the eyes of God, just as if I'd gone to hell and paid the price for my sin. As Paul writes today in 2 Corinthians 5:21, God made him who knew no sin to be sin on our behalf, that in him we might become the righteousness of God. We have perfect God righteousness in Christ. So now we're new creatures. You look in the mirror, you don't look any different. But in the mind of God, everything has changed about us. We're compelled by God's love, Christ's love. My compulsive friends, God loves you, and so do I.